Good afternoon, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for Tuesday, September 23, 2025. And in the news this afternoon, St. Andrew man wanted for murder surrenders to police. A man who was featured on the Jamaica Constabulary Force's Wanted Wednesdays has been charged with murder after surrendering himself to the police. He is 41-year-old Dwayne Christie, also known as Kojak or Shaq of Cashew Ridge, Jacks Hill in St. Andrew. Christie, a construction worker, has been charged with the 2016 murder of Ronald Gale, also called the Spanner, which took place in Cascade, St. Anne. Reports are that both men were at a shop in Davistown, Cascade, when they got into an altercation. The accused allegedly left, came back with a firearm, and shot the now deceased. Christie surrendered in the presence of his attorney. Loaded M16 rifle seized in Portsmouth in Portmore, man on the run. Lawmen assigned to the St. Catherine South Police Division on Monday seized an M16 rifle with a magazine containing 7 5.56 rounds of ammunition during an operation on Western Parade in the community of Portsmouth. Reports are that about 2:55 p.m., the police team observed a man walking along the roadway. Upon seeing the police, the man reportedly dropped a bag and ran, escaping in the area. The bag was retrieved and the firearm and ammunition were found inside. No one was arrested in connection to the find. The investigation is ongoing. Police detained 21 Haitians who arrived in Jamaica by boat on Monday. The police have detained 21 Haitian nationals who arrived by boat in the northeastern Jamaican parish of Portland on Monday. The Haitians reportedly arrived around 1 p.m. It is reported that 15 men, 4 women and 2 girls were captured in Manchaniel. This is the latest batch of Haitians to enter Jamaica by boat as their country grapples with deepening security and a political crisis. Haiti has been subjected to years of violence as powerful armed groups, often with ties to the country's political and business leaders, vie for influence and the control of territory. Efforts to stem the deadly gang attacks, including the deployment of a UN-backed Kenya-led police mission, have so far failed to restore stability. Titchfield High grieves again. Grief counselors, who have become an all-too-familiar sight at Titchfield High, were back at the school Monday morning, consoling students as they grieved for 18-year-old Vijay Popley. The teen is believed to have drowned a day earlier at Errol Flynn Marina's Bikini Beach, which is less than a mile from the school. The upper sixth former is the school's 4th student to die in tragic circumstances since 2019. The other deaths resulted from motor vehicle mishaps. Popley was a track and field athlete representing Titchfield in the 400 meters at Eastern Championships earlier this year, so he was well known. On Monday, students and the teachers wept openly, and the counselors dispatched by the Education Ministry used hushed tones to tell them not to blame themselves and to cry if you need to cry. Elisa Bailey Hamilton, who has a child attending the school, was among those jolted by Popley's death when word spread through their community Sunday. I feel like I lost a child. I know him like I know my own child. It has taken a toll on me and it is sad. Coming in this morning and hearing other children talk about him, it has been rough. I have lost a child. Titchfield has lost a child. And the entire Portland has lost a child, she said mournfully. A vendor and worker at the school, who identified herself as Miss Lisa, told the news that Popley had been a regular customer. He was kind, humble, and loving, she said. His death has left her with questions that go to the heart of her faith. You want to ask the Lord why when you have nice children like this? He has a very positive impact on students, but it is just one of those things we have to live with. Some have to go and we have to live with the pain. It is so sad, and no one wants to know that the school where you work incidents like this happen. It is sad that this happened, and it is only God we can ask why this has happened and wait for his answer, added a philosophical Miss Lisa. Indicom probing police killing of Cherry Tree Lane resident. Indicom has provided an update in its investigation into the police fatal shooting of 22-year-old Jamar Farquharson in Cherry Tree Lane, Clarendon. The agency says that the firearms of the police officers involved in the incident were collected, processed and boxed for submission to the forensics lab. Mr. Farquharson was shot and killed last Monday during a police operation. Indicom Commissioner Hugh Faulkner says assistance will be provided to Mr. Farquharson's relatives. Residents of Cherry Tree Lane staged 3 protests along the main road last week over the killing of Mr. Farquharson. The officers involved in the fatal shooting have since been removed from frontline duty.
Mr. Farquharson's family have been accessed to our family liaison officer for empathetic and sympathetic contact. The concerned officers were interviewed for an initial account. Statements should all be submitted by today, September 22, 2025. The team had also canvassed for digital footage with regard to the incident. Section 21 interviews are scheduled with the attorneys for the officers for next Monday, September 29, 2025.
JFJ Executive Director concerned that a new DPP not yet appointed. Executive Director of Jamaicans for Justice, Michael Jackson, has criticized the Public Services Commission for failing to appoint a new Director of Public Prosecutions upon the departure of the incumbent. Paul Llewellyn demitted office last Friday after 17 years in the post. Senior Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions, Claudette Thompson, is acting DPP. Ms. Jackson, speaking Monday with the News, said the failure to appoint a new DPP reflects poorly on the Public Services Commission. She is calling for amendments to the appointment process to ensure greater transparency. It was not satisfactory, she said, for the public to be relying on the media to hear that there are 4 shortlisted candidates for the post and we don't know how that process is going. It was an indictment that we don't have a DPP appointed when we all knew September 19 was coming. Instead, she said, there should be a clearly defined process, one in which it is clear what steps will be taken to appoint a new DPP. Adley Duncan, a former Jamaican prosecutor now working in Bermuda, said the next DPP will have big shoes to fill and will need to have the appropriate trails of leadership, and the most important of all is the ability to be an individual, because Ms. Llewellyn was DPP for 17 years. Accordingly, he said it was critical for the next DPP to be able to lead the office in a fresh way. Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.